Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Wednesday, April 18th, 2018. And here are some of today's trends in the news. It's an up day everywhere except the Dow. It was up 40, down 40. Closed down a little bit. Everything else is up a little bit. S&P 500 and NASDAQ rise on earnings, but Dow closes lower as IBM falters. But those earnings are coming in, and they're better than expected. Corporate earnings season has gotten off to a strong start. They have 79% of the S&P 500 companies that have reported through Wednesday surpassed earnings expectation. Meanwhile, 83% of those companies top sales estimates. And you know why? Trend alert. Trend alert. Market bounce or market bust. Our forecast. So, again, another trend alert to give you history before it happens, where this is going, where we see it going, and why it's going in the direction that it's going in. And again, you're looking at where the profits are coming from. Morgan Stanley reported a record profit and revenue for the first quarter. Isn't that great? As its trading business did better than expected. Their gambling business. Isn't it wonderful that those banksters are making all that dough? Yeah. What else do we have over here? Well, gold, went up a little bit. Not much going on. Dollar was a little weaker. Again, it's stuck in the range. Oil prices, woof. Oil prices soared to a 3-year high. And here you go. Some senior Saudi officials are reportedly targeting $80 per barrel of oil. Huh. Keep those wars going over there, you Saudis. That's right. You'll get it up to $100 a barrel. And then that's what the Saudi government needs for its budget to break even. So they're getting closer. And meanwhile, we're seeing that stockpiles keep dropping. And this is very important. This is April 18th, less than a month from now, on May 12th. President Trump is going to sign off on whether or not to continue with the Iranian nuclear deal. If he kills it, you're going to see a lot of more rise of oil prices. So, for all you gamblers out there, keep your eyes open and your ears open to see what goes on. And what else do we have here? We're talking about oil. Oil rebound hits U.S. consumers in pocket. Americans are expected to spend an average of $400 per household more on fuel this year than in 2016. According to, I don't know why they didn't say 2017, but this is from the Financial Times. Now, you ready for this? By contrast, middle-income U.S. households will on average gain $930 each from the tax cut bill passed at the end of last year, according to the Brookings Tax Policy Center. Hardly a left-wing organization. Isn't that something, huh? Oh, Morgan Stanley. Their profits really went up. Those banksters, isn't it terrific? Yeah, because we got more good news like that. Here we go. Goldman trading revenues bounce back with volatility propelling gains. Yeah, highest returns for more than 5 years after a big rebound in trading, gambling, and strong gains in the banksters' proprietary investments. This whole country's been taken over. Grow up, everybody, in a country near you. The banksters are running the show. That BS Obama Oh, that other guy shooting his fat mouth all over the place, Eric Holder this. Yeah, they're too big to jail. That little slime ball. More money for the banksters. Make them bigger. Too big to jail. Too big to fail. Hey, got more great news. Oh, $930 Trump gave us while he gave what? Oh, only a 35 to 21% tax break for the big corporations. Oh, did away with those estate taxes so those billionaires could keep more of their dough. But hey, we got to pay every penny. Bank's new tax law boost, $2.5 billion. A new federal tax law has dramatically reduced the tax rates for the biggest U.S. banks. The change significantly boosted first quarter earnings. And we got here Bank of America, J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, and Wells Fargo. Yep. Isn't that great, huh? $2.5 billion. Hey, but all you Trump lovers, yep, he gave you $930. Oh, and oil prices are going up. So kiss that. Hey, you got 400 and change. Oh, and nothing else went up. Your taxes didn't go up. Healthcare didn't go up. Nah, nothing else went up. You're rich. $400. Beijing opens up car industry in carrot and stick overtures to U.S. Easing of ownership caps affect other sectors, but they put 178% duty on sorghum imports, which account for the grand total of $1 billion, which is nothing. So now they're allowing ownership restrictions they've taken off, which currently require foreign companies to set up a 50-50 joint venture with Chinese partners to manufacture domestically. Actually, what I've read, it's 49-50. China gets 50, the others get 49, but they're doing away with that. And again, this is under the pressure from Trump, which I totally agree with. These trade deals stink. But going on to China, China data masks debt worry. And what they're saying here is that despite the apparently strong headline growth, China's central bank late Tuesday unexpectedly cut the amount of funds some banks must hold in reserve, a move that could release nearly $500 billion yuan of liquidity. China's retail sales ticked up in March, but services and construction to Purchasing Managers' Employment Index hit a 5-year low. More worrying, real borrowing costs for industrial firms are rising quickly. China moves to forestall growth slowdown. And you keep seeing what's going on. That's according to what you're hearing from the American side. But that's not what you hear from China. China's growth driven by private investment surge. China's economy grew, as we reported yesterday, 6.8%. China's economy, quote, is highly resilient and has huge flexibilities, their National Bureau of Statistics said. And the People's Bank of China, as I said, cut the amount of cash that commercial banks must hold in reserve. So there you got it. China's debt problem is growing. The only thing that's keeping these markets going is the money flow going in, the tax cuts, because when you look at creation of jobs across the board, now they're talking about a slowdown in Europe as well. We don't see that kind of growth. So between the stock buybacks and the continuing flow of cheap money, now they're also saying that they're not going to raise interest rates in the UK, and they're near nothing now because of lower inflation and declining economy. So more cheap dough. And here we go. Large economies flirting with trade war. IMF warns good times in the global economy will not last, the IMF warned yesterday, as it predicted that a slowdown was likely to be accompanied by a trade war. And there's going on to say global growth would slow by 2020. And we don't think it's the trade war that's going to do it, because It's self-sustaining economies is the trend that we see. Trade wars, what? They're going to be a readjustment. If it's a real trade war, yes, it'll go down. But they do suggest that there's going to see nearly a 4% global GDP growth for this year and next. So they say it's going to slow down in 2020, but you never know. What else here? Japan's elite civil servants lose luster after humiliations. The bureaucratic bungling has been so pathetic, it has even drawn attention away from its apparent motivation. Dubious favors granted to cronies of the prime minister. What a surprise. Prominent senator faces trial in Brazil. Yeah, another day, another ripoff. And moving on to some international news. Boy, Captain Macron keeps making the news that French Presidente. Here he goes. 3 countries have intervened, and let me be quite frank, quite honest. This is for the honor of the international community regarding the strike that the United States, the UK, and France took against Syria. These strikes don't necessarily resolve anything, but I think they were important. They don't resolve anything, and you little piece of crap, think they're important? Oh, hey, you do, so I must too. Because in every country now, we got a clown leading us, and the people bow down to the clowns. To be quite frank and quite honest, you're a lying little piece of shit. Could you take that? Oh, don't say shit. Shit's a bad word. Missiles are a good word. People like missiles because here in the United States, gun violence, bad. No, cruise missiles, good. The latest Politico poll reveals that more than 58% of Americans supported a joint military operation in Syria last week, compared to just 23% who opposed the airstrikes. Isn't that great? And 20% had no opinion because they're too stupid to know anything. People buy the propaganda. Not one shred of evidence. But hey, I'll tell you now, boy, those Russians, boy, first they try to kill that spy over there in England, and then those Syrians are killing their people with chemicals. We don't have any proof of either. And now the big one is cyber attacks. Russian cyber attacks. Every day another story. Yeah. This is from the Toilet Paper Record. Big piece over here. Opinion. Opinion. Not opinion. You know what this is?
That was bullshit.
The president is not above the law. News reports point to growing possibility that President Trump may act to cripple or shut down an investigation by the nation's top law enforcement agencies into his campaign and administration. Oh, yeah. Not above the law? What law? You're above the law when you don't need the Constitution to go bomb another country. Totally illegal, but out of the news. But Americans love it, and so too does the little boy prime minister up there in Canada, Justin Trudeau. Justin Jerk-off Trudeau. Here he goes. Canada condemns in the strongest possible terms the use of chemical weapons in last week's attack in eastern Ghouta, Syria, declared Trudeau, with no proof. Canada supports the decision by the United States, the United Kingdom, and France to take action to degrade the Assad regime's ability to launch chemical weapon attacks against its own people. Not one shred of proof, and they keep repeating this from these murderers. And nobody cares. But hey, in America, the land of hypocrisy, gun violence, bad. Missile violence, good. Yeah. We're the exceptionals. Exceptionally gullible, exceptionally stupid, and like all of these other countries, a bunch of exceptional cowards that won't stand up, speak out, and demand that the law be abided by. Oh, by the way, over there in Italy, you know what they said to get involved with this? Vaffanculo. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's trends in the news.